independence and codependence, the desire of the daughter so desperately to have her own life, have her own choices, have her own voice, and her mother wanting to keep your daughters protected, keep them safe, keeping them looking good, not making mistakes. It's like the daughter doesn't feel the wisdom of her mother. She just feels that her mother's being controlling. So it's that balance between independence, codependence.
And also, I remember with my mom, it would be like, if I had a boyfriend, she would be like, I don't like him, Graciela. There's something about that guy I don't like. I know you think he's funny, but funny doesn't cut it, okay? He got muscles, he's funny, and I would be like, oh, Mom, he's totally cool. He's so nice. And 6 months later, he turned out to be the awful guy that my mom predicted. And that would drive me crazy because she was always right about the people that surrounded me. She always got their vibes because I think mothers are so into, like you said, protecting their daughters that they feel the vibes even more strongly than anybody else that's around us. Is that true, Leslie?
I definitely think there's truth to it. I think there's another thing going on that's sort of very contemporary. I mean, it's always been going on, but change is happening so fast. I also experienced it as, a mom wanting you to look the way she looks, and really the way you present in society is a reflection on mom. So if you're not well behaved, if you look like a street rat, which is what I was called for many years. It's like, well, what's her mom teaching her? What's going on in that house? And I think, that's very healthy and normal. I think where it can go a little bit wrong is in today's world, things have gotten so modern with sexuality, with what you want to do with your life, with religion or not religion. These have always been questions of mom wanting to approve of what you're doing with your life. But now it's gotten very, very different. So mom may have been raised, with some religion or in a conservative environment, and she's suddenly faced, and we know many cultures are very religious. Yes. So suddenly you've got this child and she's dealing with things you honestly don't understand or don't believe. And that can create conflict.
100%. That was actually my next question, because one theme in your book is the generational differences, right, between mothers and daughters. So how do you suggest families bridge the gap in understanding between these different perspectives?
Well, I think the first thing that's very important is for daughters to be able to understand where their mothers come from. And we actually have a really section in the book about it, that you really do some self-discovery to say where your mother comes from and why she holds the opinions and feelings that she does. So if a daughter is a little bit more compassionate about her mother and where her mother comes from, that can be very helpful.
Absolutely. But it's hard when you're younger to understand that and put yourself in your mom's shoes. As we get older, I think as I got older, personally, I felt like I could understand where my mom was coming from and the struggles that she had, where before I was a little bit more unforgiving and I was like, Mom, nah, 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 nah. And then it was like, oh, I get it.
Listen, beyond that, it wasn't until we were actually writing the book that I considered what it was like to be the mother of an alcoholic. Wow. So for a lot of my childhood, I was very angry that there was drinking in our home. And then suddenly I'm writing the scenes of when we were taking me to rehab, and I'm confronted with what it must have been like, felt like. So, and again, in that self-discovery Leslie was talking about, you begin to understand, wow, my mom was a mom in the 70s. They didn't know everything they know now. She didn't have family around. She didn't have supportive people that could help with small children. You begin to put these pieces together, and the puzzle makes a lot more sense.